In the past 6 seasons, I've gotten to Unreal rank in the first week of every season, and I have helped thousands of other people get to their highest rank they've ever gotten. So today I'm going to be teaching you the secrets that I use to get to Unreal rank. So I'm going to be talking about the best drop spot, what objectives you should be playing for, what the best loadout is, and most importantly, how to close out and win more games consistently. So if you guys do enjoy, make sure that you guys like and subscribe, and yeah, let's get into the video. Alright, so the first POI we're going to get into is none other than Sandy Steps. Now, in my opinion, Sandy Steps is one of the best POIs, not just because of how much loot is there, it's also because over to the right over here, there is a radio tower. Now, if you don't know what radio towers do, they basically let you the next zone before anyone else, and getting ranked points and surviving till endgame, that is going to help you out a ton, because then you don't have to waste mats on a rotate, and you always know where to go, and we're going to talk about that a little later as well, so just stay tuned for that. But now, getting back into Sandy Steps, this location is so good is because of the Marvel chest. You'll see that there's one here. There is also another spawn down here in the basement here. And then there's another one over here in this house here. Now there's 2 other spawns, but they did not spawn this game. One's up in, I believe both are actually up in here. One might be in here as well, but I'm not sure. There's also one Doom chest over here. And with the update today, they have re-added Stark rifles back to the game. And that means that you can go with crazy beams and do crazy stuff with that gun. I mean, it is just an absolute laser. And also, it is probably the most perfected AR in my opinion, because you can shoot fast for long range and you can have it as a spray weapon up close. So it is definitely the best AR to carry in this meta. Also, at Sandy Steps, if you go into this building here, you are going to be able to find 30 shield up right in here inside the roof. And then if you go into the basement, there's going to be another 30 shield for you, so that you can get basically max health. And then once you get 60 blue, you're going to head up here, and then you can get these 2 barrels over here, and you're going to be up at 80 blue. And then by that point, you should probably be able to find an extra big pot or a fizz or something to get yourself fully, healed up. But this place also holds this tower, right? And this tower can actually be farmed for metal. Now, metal is very dispersed on this map, and it's not evenly balanced. There's places like this here, but once you start heading this way on the map, there's basically no metal other than the locations, right? Metal is a lot more scarce on in this map. You can only really find metal in certain POIs. Also, with the new updates, they have added these like sort of pads on the ground. I don't know if they're guaranteed every game, but there's one over here to the side of the raft, and it spawns the Iron Man mythics, the uni beam, and the boosters on your feet. The boosters are really good. The uni beam is good as well, but it only does 90 damage. It's not what it used to be, but it is still pretty decent. And now moving on, after you land at Sandy Steps, you can move up here to this hill where the radio tower is, rotate in, and then the bosses are going to spawn. Once they spawn, you can kill them, get the key card, put it into the machine, and then you'll be able to see the next zone, and then you can make your rotates based off of there. Also, after you do get the radio tower, maybe hit the launch pad and head over here to this pad, where you're going to be able to pick up dashes and even more loot. So there's a few chests here. Most of the time this place is going to be looted, but if it's not, you can always get the loot. There's also fishing spots, but the most important spot is obviously the dash water. You want to get this so that in case you don't have a jetpack by this point, you have dashes to move around. Alright, so now we're going to get into Loot Island. Now at 50 seconds after the 4th zone closes, the island will spawn, and that means that you should be there by the time it gets there. But the problem with Loot Island is obviously everyone sees it around the map, and they all see it as an objective to capture. Now this can be good or bad for you. If you're a good fighter, this is good for you because it's going to give you more kills and free kills to pick up. But if you're someone that's not that good at the game, I would actually recommend not going to Loot Island, because you're probably gonna waste more mats than actually gain, unless you can get up there first. If you can get up there first, try and fully box it maybe. But if you're not the best player, I don't recommend wasting your entire game just for Loot Island. You can make it up later, and I'm going to show you guys how to do that. Alright, so now we're going to get into the next segment of this video, which is kills. Now, kills will make up a good amount of your points, but you have to do it correctly. Now, if you did not know this, kills in endgame count for more points than if they were off spawn. So let's say I land at the raft and I get a few kills off spawn, that's not going to count for much. It may make me break even on my points, but it won't actually help me that much. But if I get a bunch of kills in endgame, then I'm going to secure a lot more points than I would if I was playing an early game. So that means that you should land somewhere more low-key like the location I have given you, then get the radio tower, then head over to Loot Island if it's free. If you can't fight, that's fine. You can make up your points later and then start fighting in endgame. You don't need to look for kills. Maybe look to third party. Look to steal kills off of people, because my next point is stealing kills. Now, if you did not know this, assists actually give you points. So let's say you're in a third party scenario you're fighting someone and then someone else steals your kill. You still get a little bit of points for that kill. You still share some of that points. Do not be discouraged if someone steals your kill. Obviously, it sucks, but you're still going to get points for it if you still tagged them. Alright, so now let's get into the loadout. What is the best loadout you can carry? Now, in my opinion, the loadout has changed significantly with this new update. Obviously, there's the Iron Man mythics, but those are very scarce and you're not going to be able to get your hands on them all the time. So let's say you don't have the Iron Man mythics. What's the best loadout you can carry? Now, in my opinion, the Gatekeeper is still the best shotgun in the game, and you're going to want to get a drum mag on it. Obviously, try and get the attachments on it. Next, for your AR, you're obviously going to either want to be carrying an AUG or a Stark Rifle. Now, in my opinion, the Stark Rifle is better, but for some people, you may not like it and you may not be able to control the recoil. So if you can't, get an AUG. But if you can, pick up the Stark Rifle because it is insane and it works as a SMG and an AR, so it's very, very versatile. And of course, you are going to want to be carrying a jetpack. Now, you could substitute this for the new mythics, but as I said, they're hard to get, so if you can't get one, always just carry a jetpack. But if you can't carry either of those, always carry a Flowberry Fizz. Now, in my opinion, you should always be carrying a Flowberry Fizz with a jetpack because it's going to allow you to rotate really fast around the map and it's going to make it a lot easier for you. So obviously for your next 2 slots, you should be probably carrying medkits and a Flowberry Fizz because you obviously get the blue from your Flowberry, and then medkits obviously because they're the best white heal overall. Alright, so now moving into Endgame, I thought the best way to teach all of you how to win a game was actually just to break it down for you. So in this game, it's actually really not that stacked. This is what most of your ranked games are going to look like for lower ranks. There's going to be a few people alive in these end games, and I'm just going to show you guys some basic things that I look for when rotating, how to fight, when to pick a fight. So now obviously you can see that zone is pulling back here and this guy's in my way, so my whole goal is to waste all of his mats, burn all of his builds until I can get in. Once I've broken all of his builds and I know that he's distracted, I'm going to tap my fizz like I showed you guys before, and then I'm going to hit my jetpack. And this is probably the best movement you're going to get this season. As you can see, I'm covering a lot of distance. Also, I noticed that this guy has high ground on everyone and I want it, so I'm going to forcefully take it from him. I'm going to ramp up on him, then dash with my jetpack, close the distance while having my shotgun out. A lot of people make the mistake of having your AR out in this scenario, like this guy right here. You actually just want to have your shotgun out because you're at that close distance, and I do a lot more damage than him, hit him at 86 while he doesn't do anything. And now basically my whole goal is to push him off, smack on his walls, he gets scared, and I've just pushed him off, and now he has to worry about his rotate and he has to go back through all of these people right into this area here. He has to deal with all these people, and it's going to end up getting him killed in the end of the game. Think of endgame as like traffic. You want to control everyone and you want to control where they're going to go. So for example, my whole goal is to keep everyone on this side. I know they're all on this side and I want to keep it that way. So you want to force all of them to funnel basically through this little gap here and not to get on your side so that you have an easier rotate. All right, so now obviously this is the next rotate. After I've sat in this box for a little bit, I realized that zone is pulling across over to here. Zone is pulling over here, and I realized that I am still all the way back over here. And so that means I'm gonna have to tap my fizz and go to zone. But I noticed that these are old builds right here. It's really hard for someone to shoot me out when I go into those old builds. And since I hear that this guy's shooting, now I know it's my time to go, and I'm gonna tap my fizz and I'm gonna jetpack. So while he is busy looking at that guy, I am rotating. See this, right? While he's looking there, now I go. By the time he's looking over at me, it's too late, and I've already made my way across, and I've taken no damage in the process. And now all I have to do is just chill up here and wait for zone to pull. Now he actually gets zone pull. It's going to close in a second. It's going to close right now. He actually gets the zone pull, and it's going to pull right to him right here. See, right? It's going to pull to him. So now I'm pinched in between two people. I am pinched in between this guy right here and this guy down here. So they could both look at me. I want to avoid this, and I need to change the angle so that they have to focus each other. So instead of just dashing in while both are going to look at me and shoot me, I decided with the armor walls that I've saved up, I'm just going to build up in the air. Like I tap my fizz here and I'm like, okay, is it worth it to go? And I'm like, no, it's not worth it. So I'm going to use my ramps, go above him, and I've just now changed the angle. Now this guy is on the defensive and he can't look at me. See how he blocks me off? Now he has to worry about the other guy. And since I forced this guy down, now he is forced to go down towards this other guy, and that forces them to fight. And now all I have to do is come up and clean up both fights. So I'm going to hover, fly down above this guy. Notice how I'm above him and then I fall down so that when I land, I'm a lot higher and it makes no noise when I fall. So when I do land, I just hover and then I just shoot him in the back while he's focused on the other guy. Get a free kill. Also, the uni beam makes you really, really vulnerable, so pop it at the right times. This is not the right time because there's another person looking at you, and he ends up getting killed right here, bang. And then all I have to do is focus on this last guy, and I end up winning this game because he's already weak. Basically, I just let everyone do all the hard work for me, and now all I have to do is keep pressuring this guy until he makes a mistake, and then I pick up a free win. That's going to do it for this video. If you guys did enjoy, make sure you guys are subscribed and go join my community. It's free. And if you guys want to see more content like this, go check out these videos right here. And I'm out. Peace.